I have this saying that I make the children say. I say, what's the most valuable stuff on earth? And they go, poop and soil. I go, more valuable than what? Diamonds and gold. Why is that? Because you can't eat diamonds and gold. And then I go, what's the most powerful sentence known to all humanity? And they go, consume as little as possible. And then I go, because if every human being on earth did this today, the planet would be cleaner by tomorrow.
Welcome. Happy Friday.
Yeah.
It is the Brotherly Love Pod. We have.
Is that what it is?
I'm a big. Yeah, it is what it is, bro. It is what it is. Everybody here in the Brotherly Love Pod, please welcome the sought-after self-reliance teacher for children, decorated hero, legendary survivalist, Gary Golding, everybody.
So excited
Thank
to have
you.
you
Thank
here,
you.
Masterful
Thank you very
survivalist.
much.
Cool,
I'm
man.
happy to be here.
Yeah, dude.
This is really cool.
Dude,
Got
I'm
a
such a
kombucha there?
I'm such a big fan.
Yeah.
I live on those.
I do too, but too much sugar, I think.
No, but there's low sugar in those, but I love them. I literally drink one of those, at least a half a bottle of those before I go to sleep every single night.
Oh my God.
I used to have acid reflux for years.
Oh, boy.
And,
And we're
that
in.
literally cures it. If I feel it coming on, I pound one of those.
He likes.
Pounds
You know
the
what
whole
really
ecosystem
cures
of the
acid
stomach.
reflux that I swear that works good?
What?
Pickle juice.
Really?
Yep, works better
Really?
than anything I've
Like
ever
you just
used.
drink it out of the jar that
Yeah.
the pickles are in?
It's
Interesting.
better than anything.
What kind of pickles? Like the bread, like the
No,
dill.
dill. Yeah, you're not going to go bread and butter. There's too much sugar in there.
Okay,
Yeah,
Sweet
kinda like,
pickles, right.
Kind of like
It was-
Stephen Lee Hall Jr., kind of a big deal.
nice.
Big deal.
A deal. I like
Perfect.
it. I like.
We're going to be full
Wow.
of dad jokes this episode. I am a dad of 3, so I actually love dad jokes.
How old are they?
18, 14, and 22 months.
And you're teaching a bunch of kids now in Malibu? Is that what you're up to?
Yeah, I worked for, in the school system. I was a garden and nature awareness teacher, and like I do assemblies and stuff. I still do assemblies all over the nation when people ask me. That's kind of just word of mouth, but I teach kids in Malibu right now. A lot of kids in Malibu, wilderness survival, nature awareness,
Cool. Love that.
self-reliance.
Mm-hmm.
Basically, I tell parents, I kind of screen the parents. I'm kind of a hardcore guy, kind of an edgy.
You don't say.
Yeah.
You don't say. Your reputation precedes you,
Yeah.
my friend.
So like there's this one family, there's this 8-year-old girl and this 5-year-old boy, right?
Hey, stay on the mic. Make sure you stay on this mic.
Oh,
here.
yeah, keep on top of me.
Yeah.
And so they're an 8-year-old girl and a 5-year-old boy, and this is kind of the energy because I tell them, hey, you don't hire Gary Golding to teach your kid to rub sticks together. Right? So this is going to be, I want it to be real. I want parents that want their children to really be free, to really be strong, right?
Yeah.
So these kids they go, Mr. Gary, we saw a dead coyote on the side of the road last week. And they're with their dad, and I go, well, you see a dead coyote with Mr. Gary, and you're going to learn how to skin that coyote, and you're going to watch Mr. Gary eat it. and
Look at Joe. Look at Joe's face. If you can see Joe's face right now.
Is the meat good or
yeah, oh yeah, and
coyote meat? What does it taste
Wait,
like?
so hold on,
All right, I'll let you
because I
finish.
want to tell you.
Probably
And so they were like, they were like, the kids and the dad were like, whoa, awesome, right? And I was like, all right, these are my people. These are my kids.
Yeah.
Because I'm here to teach people that they're allowed to be more free than you've been taught to be.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And so,
Well, we're supposed to be free here.
yeah, supposed to be, but we're
Land of
not.
the free, you know?
And so,
Yeah.
so anyways, like I come back the next week to teach them, and they had chickens in their backyard, and the coyotes up in Malibu, they're always trying to get the chickens.
Mm.
And so the dad shot one. They were like excited for me to show up. To skin it.
Oh!
And to
What?
eat
Oh
it,
my
right?
God.
And I was like,
No.
oh man, I said, it's been here too long, man.
Oh, no.
It's too
Yeah.
far gone.
Yeah.
And
Oh, no.
I can't eat that. You see those maggots? It means the meat's not
Well,
good.
I mean, I think
well,
you
I've
might.
lived off a pot of maggots for
Did
3
you really?
days. Yeah, in
You lived
Africa.
off a pot of maggots for 3 days?
In
10.
Africa, yeah.
10.
Do you recommend
Wasn't it?
that, or is that just out of necessity, or what? Because I wouldn't do that. I don't think I could do it. I mean, I guess if I had to, I would. But God,
Well, that's the
I wouldn't be-
idea. I'm in positions where I have to, but to answer your question, I ate a dead coyote off the road in Cambria about 8 months ago. And,
Really? Okay.
you know, up north, up there
Yeah.
by Morro Bay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I found a dead coyote hit by a car, and I cut the leg off and I ate it.
What,
And I'll tell you, when you get to a coyote and it's dead, and you put your hand on it, the fleas,
Oh, my God.
like hundreds that run up your arm when you just touch it.
Gary, no.
Really?
Yeah, I was like dang, that's a lot of fleas.
Gary, no.
And I cut the leg
No.
off. And I
Oh, no, dude. That's a lot of
Did they just live on them, or did they consume?
No,
did they
no,
jump
they
on him
live
after he died?
No, they're living on that animal, and then all of a sudden something alive comes along, and
warm blood. They just want
yeah,
to
they're like
yeah.
jump ship.
they just
Wow,
jump
that
ship
is
onto my
awful.
arm.
Did they bite you?
And no, I rushed it. No, they're not in biting mode at that point. They're probably in just rush mode.
Yeah.
And so
that is horrific.
then I took the leg and then I surprised my buddy with it, and I fed it to him, and I told him what he ate afterwards.
But what did you? How did you
Oh,
prepare
my
it?
God.
You Hannibal
Walk us through what you
Lectered him
did.
or something?
What's it-
But in
I mean, it
Hannibal,
wasn't
when they
just some
fed
bloody
somebody the
leg.
brains.
So how did you?
Ray Liotta gets
What
fed
did you do with it
brains.
after you cut the leg off and you got the fleas off you? What did you do at that point with it? You took it to
I
the
skinned the leg,
right, skin it.
took all the skin off,
Okay,
and I put it in my fridge in my van, and then I drove to his
the one
house.
that's out front.
Yeah.
Oh my god!
And I drove to and I drove to his house. It's a pretty funny video, and I actually
it
knock
is.
on his door with the leg
What?
and leave some blood stains on his door, and he answers the door, and I'm like,
Right.
"You want to learn survival? You told me
Oh, my
you're
God.
about to learn survival."
Wow.
And then so he ate the coyote leg with me.
Did you
Wow.
do you roast it or what do you do? You put it in an
No,
oven?
that's a
Over-
great
open
question.
flame
I like that question because this is the best survival, one of the best survival tips that I could tell you actually from the show. When people ask me how you cook. So if you cook on a fire, there's potential to burn the outside and the middle's raw.
right.
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 So what you'll notice I do, and a lot of people might not pick up on it, there's a lot more lessons that I'm teaching out there to the viewer than they could even pick up on. But I always boil because what you do is you get the meat at air temperature, the water at air temperature, and then you put them together, and then you start the boil. And then when it hits boiling, yeah, do you know what the temperature of boiling is?
100 and something.
102 degrees.
212.
212.
12. We're way
Meat
off.
has to be cooked to 165 in
For it to be-
restaurants.
Right.
So when it hits boiling, I know I've hit 212, and I know it was a slow cook because I started them at room temperature. You don't get it boiling and then throw it in. Then that'll sear it just like the other way, right?
Right.
So I actually do it with great intention
Smart.
to boil it. Then you boil it for 10 minutes, and you know that the core is 212.
Right.
So you know that thing you could eat a piece of cat crap.
Right.
Am I allowed to cuss on here?
We can bleep it
Yeah,
out.
we can.
Okay.
We can do a few.
So I'll say cat crap then instead of
cat
the other.
crap. Yeah.
And so you could boil a piece of cat crap and eat it if you want. So basically,
We're big on alliteration, so that works. I like
Yeah.
the cat crap. Very
So anyways, I boil everything, and that's why. And then here's the concept behind that. When you boil it, then to hydrate yourself, you are then drinking vitamins and not just water.
nice. Right.
Did you have a
You get
rich,
the fats, you get the meat
Right.
juice,
nutrient-rich water?
Yeah,
it
broth,
makes a lot of sense. Yeah,
right?
of
And
course.
so then another thing for storage, even if you didn't have a lid, flies can't get in through water. They're not going to lay any eggs on your stuff. That keeps the bugs off.
shit.
So it's a
I didn't
storage
even think
chamber.
about that either. Wow.
Yeah. So as I drink the water, if I need more water, I add more water, but I boil that meat every morning and every night, every morning and every night, just like a crock pot. And then sometimes I have like a gravy at the end. And
Oh my
and then
gosh.
the meat becomes super tender, falling off the bone. And you just crock potted that thing. And I could have meat at home in a crock pot for a month because I'll just
Wait,
keep throwing
so
in new meat.
So you can reboil boiled, fully cooked meat, and it doesn't ever like get rancid. You
No,
can just-
no, that's why I do it on it. Because you're gonna. Here's
I
why.
didn't know that.
And here's the
I
concept.
had no
So
idea.
you can get back to room temperature. You can let it sit there.
in the water though. In the
And,
water.
and here's looking now. Here's the multifunctionality of it. What you're hearing is, at night you need a fire anyways.
Right.
Might as well boil the meat.
Right.
You need it anyways. Utilize it as you need it for efficiency, and then usually in the morning you still got some coals going because you had it all night, so you still have a good chance of getting a easy fire started.
Yeah.
And so then you have breakfast. So I'll boil it and have breakfast. And sometimes I let it sit so close enough to the fire where it kind of simmers all night and it's just warm. So I actually have a whole system what you're watching out there. And so the maggots I boiled, and I boiled them once. Don't give me that look on your face about maggots.
Sorry, can't have my
How
face.
dare you insult the cook?
Yeah, no, it's not the cook. It's not the cook. It's what's being cooked. It's not you. I'm sure you're
the
great.
ingredients, not the chef, I guess.
Yeah.
And on the
I
challenge,
don't like snails either. You know, I'm not that guy, but I get it. I mean, you got to eat
Yeah.
what you got to eat, and some people, it's a delicacy in a lot of places, which is great.
And
I
I've
tried
had,
it once. I
I've
don't
had,
love it.
yeah, I've had survivalists say when they're out there with me,
Yeah.
I've always said I will never eat anything Gary brings back, and then they do.
Of course. Well, absolutely. If they're
Well,
out there, no,
yeah.
if they're out there with you, I would imagine that would be.
And so one of my
Necessity.
things that I claim, my claim that I specialize in is I deliver true life or death scenario. I treat it like it's actually I'm going to die.
Right.
So I eat the maggots.
Right.
And I deliver true caveman style life or death scenario. So I do kind of find it kind of not a good way to go when people bring their diets from civilization out there.
No, yeah, that's not going to work.
Because you had mentioned to me outside, we were talking, and people have their diets, and I'm like, I really do look at them like, what do you mean you're on a carnivore diet?
I mean,
Like, you don't bring that crap out here.
Yeah.
You know, you eat vegetation, you eat meat, you eat eggs, you eat whatever you can. This is real caveman stuff, man. You don't. And so I really do kind of like talk crap on it for real, because I'm like going, man, you got to, because they're still bringing their indoctrination into the wild. It's time to shed all that and really try to live like you're about to die.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For sure. No, it makes sense. I always wondered that, like, people that go out there and try to either be vegan or vegetarian, I'm like, how do you can't survive that way.
Well, I had one person, which gives you a better chance, that was carnivore. And so I got some honey, and they didn't want sugars.
That's ridiculous.
And I'm like, what the?
What are you talking about, dude?
Like, knock it off.
That's crazy.
I'm really like, knock it off, man.
Yeah.
Like, because honey's good for you.
Dude,
is
well,
good for you.
speaking of honey, this is a perfect segue on the most.
Just real quick, what does the coyote meat taste
What
like?
the hell,
Honey, I just
Joe?
wanna know what it tastes like.
This is my life, people.
If you say chicken,
I get
I'm
3
gonna die,
words,
but
and then he
is it
interrupts
like
me.
chicken?
Oh my god!
Everything's chicken, but
It's kind of dark meatish, and it tastes grass, like grassy, like they must eat a lot of rabbits.
okay, cool. Go ahead, Andy.
There you go.
Sorry, that's all. I just wanted to wrap up on that because I wanted to know
Yeah,
what it
that's
is.
good. We got the coyote crap out of the way.
Got coyote crap out of the way. Go ahead, Andy.
I was just gonna say, honey, on this most recent season,
Yeah. Oh, that's right.
last one standing, you found Naked and Afraid, last one standing, Joe.
Yeah, the most recent
Catch
season.
up, man. Welcome to the
Andy and I
party.
have seen every second of every
know you
episode.
guys have.
We're
You
big
guys
Naked and
don't have
Afraid fans.
kids.
Do you watch it a lot too?
Oh my
every
gosh.
this
They
is
have
it.
zero
And
responsibility.
That's
no, that's
not
not true at all.
true.
Our responsibility is watching good entertainment, like Naked and
That's
Afraid.
wow,
That's
what a
it.
wonderful responsibility.
My nieces, his daughters, we got, and they're like diehard fans.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, dude. So do they know me?
Oh yeah, for
yeah.
sure.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
For sure.
Because the teenagers usually like me because I'm angsty.
You're a wild one.
Yeah,
That's
I'm,
true.
Yeah.
That's
I'm
very
a wild
true.
one, and I'm angsty, and I'm like,
Yeah.
that I'm very rebellious.
Yeah.
But you're a good dude. I'm so impressed. This season, I don't know too. After talking to you on the phone, I became like really pro Gary. Like I am so on your side now, dude. I was watching the show and I was shocked. What the hell? I'm fanning over here. But Patrick, they wouldn't share any meat with you. What the hell is going on out there, dude?
I'll be honest with you. That was true like shock. I've been out there with so many other survivalists, Matt especially.
Yeah.
And sharing is our way.
Right.
And I was really taken back, like,
It's terrible.
and then he brought up, it's so funny, I pulled this out, and then he brought up the knives
Oh
again.
my God.
He brought up the knives,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And I was like, what? Like you're stuck on that?
I don't know why.
And it's so funny because people were like, they thought I was mesmerized by Danny because like I had like some kind of crush, and it's just a natural.
She was nice. She was a
well,
kind
she was
person,
my-
dude.
She was my ride or die.
Yeah.
And it's loyalty, and it's like I've been around the block a lot of times. I'm not like all crushed out, but I just knew that I'd be fine. Let her have the knives, man. Gary Golding will find stuff. I'll eat. And sure enough, I got that warhog, right?
Yeah.
So,
Mm-hmm.
so I just had confidence, and then the
Dude, when you
knives,
shot the arrow, bro.
and then knives came into play.
Hey,
So
hey, dude, that was. I mean, that
So-
was a
so
hell
I
of a
was-
shot, dude.
yeah, and so I was
Hell of a shot.
I was baffled by that behavior.
Yeah, I was too.
like,
I was really baffled.
and so I walked away. I stepped away, and I was like, "Wow," But
Good for you for
You know-
setting an example when you came back with a what did you kill?
yeah, I
an
mean,
elk?
the guys learn.
No,
the
an
guys
elk.
learn.
You shot an elk with an bow, and this is a different one.
No, I shot an impala.
Impala. That's what it was.
Impala.
Yeah, Impala.
That
Hey
was
man,
wild,
sharing
dude.
is caring. That's all I get.
No, it was wild, dude.
Well,
They're
'cause
like out.
You also
yeah.
showed them where everything was.
Yeah,
too,
so-
right?
it was so
Didn't you
messed
bring
up.
them down to the
The
water
water
hole?
hole.
Yeah.
It was so messed up,
Yeah.
dude. It was so it was the craziest thing I've ever seen.
That was interesting.
Why did they do
I was
it?
really surprised.
Well,
'cause
it was one
there were certain
individual.
people that
Who was the
had the
individual?
fishing gear and certain people that didn't. And Gary goes out there and he finds a place that he sees some bigger fish. Like
I'll be
catfish, right?
straight up. I've been to Africa 4 times at least, yeah, and that was the best water hole I've ever seen in Africa.
Dude.
Amazing.
For us,
Right.
and I was like, crap. The tracks,
Amazing.
what they, the tortoises are protected out there. I see you got tortoises out there,
Yeah.
and I found leopard. You probably know
Leopard.
a leopard
I love
tortoise.
leopard
I found
tortoises.
4 of them, and I was going, wow,
I
and
love
picking
that.
them up. And that place was so magical, that water
Yeah.
hole. And I found all
That's
those
so cool.
catfish, right?
Yeah.
And so that's why I was showing them exactly where everything was, so they could cut all the looking around out.
Yeah.
And yeah, then the way they acted about it, made me. People thought I wanted them to thank me up and down. No, I just wanted at least a high five and a hug, and like,
Right.
good job, Gary.
Yeah.
Or a hook and line or something.
that-
I didn't even care. Like, I figured we all get to eat. It doesn't matter
It's
at this
wild.
point. This is going to be rich.
That's
Yeah.
so wild.
And
Yeah, I was
so
shocked.
at that point, out of principle, I just threw all the cards off the pieces off the table and was like, people were like, they were saying, he expects to get fed acting like that, like they think I'm that out of touch. No, I expected to not get fed after I acted like that. I didn't want their food anymore.
Sure.
Right.
I was like pushing it away.
Well, it makes
literally.
sense. It was quite disrespectful. I was
I get it.
I was not happy.
What
I
does
was
a
not.
warthog taste like?
Warhog
Oh.
is
Grassy, actually. Dark meat. Okay,
Oh my
that was
Gary,
the coyote.
everything
That's
tastes
Is it about
grassy,
the coyote?
dark
They
meat.
eat rabbits. No, I'm kidding.
It's
Well,
it's a
you don't know. Have you ever had a
it's
warthog?
type of pig.
I'm not asking
Warhog
you.
tastes delicious.
Yeah?
Yeah, it's delicious. It's really good. I got to aloe up, you guys.
Does it? Okay. Does it?
Gary
Does it taste like
Gary's rubbing aloe
like
all
is
over
it like
himself.
a chicken in
right now.
consistency, or is it more like a ham?
More like a ham.
Ham. Okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
Cool.
Wow.
Okay.
Oh
Yeah,
my
and it's delicioso.
Is it?
Yeah.
Mhm.
That's awesome.
But so yeah, there's these dynamics that happen out there where, because you're out there with a bunch of people that are competing to be the badass,
Sure.
Right.
and that kind of gets it. That mentality interrupts a little bit, because it's like it's hard for people to just let go and go, man, you're awesome.
Right. Right.
People in this world sometimes have a problem with, you kick butt, you are awesome.
Yeah, I know.
Not realizing how that might actually be more endearing and give back to you.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. For
But,
100%.
So I always felt like that was a lesson. And I want you to remember, I said this, I go, you're going to feed me and you're going to hate me while you're doing it. And
I
then
remember.
if you remember, I'm kicking back in my shelter, and
Oh, yeah.
Jeff delivers me a big leg
Yeah.
to my doorstep.
Yeah, I remember.
And at that point, I'm like
Yeah.
a mob boss kicking back, relaxing
Nice.
in my shelter. I'm like,
Yeah.
yeah, I'm cool, And
Wow.
So funny.
yeah, so those items were still working for me, even though I didn't have them. So I lightened my load, and
Sure.
so it's kind of a interesting thing out there.
Wow.
That was
That's some
wild.
naked and afraid stories.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Dude,
How many
it's-
times have you done Naked and Afraid?
8 times.
8 times.
Wow.
8 times.
Did you ever have any run-ins or anything? I mean, I know. the
I've been
show,
chased
seen-
by elephants
That's
for
scary.
like a football field. I was
Dude.
chased by elephants. I was charged by them all the time. On the Tribes episode I do with Matt and the 2 girls, Molly and
Wow.
Blair. And this is this bull elephant. I would be kicking back on the dry riverbed down below. Elephants aren't nice. You guys have been to Africa.
Yeah,
they're
bold.
not like all nice,
No.
And I'd be laying on the riverbed, and here comes a male elephant walking by,
Oof.
and then he would just run towards me and chase me off the riverbed. Like, you don't come down
Secreting
here.
with
It's
all
so
their
funny. No,
with all
I
their
had-
musk and all that
So
hormones coming
I had
out.
a very
the bulls
similar
are-
experience. I was in
Badass,
Kenya
yeah.
in the Masai Mara, and they don't want to let you. This is why I love the experience you guys get to have, because they don't want to let you out of the vehicles.
No,
But I see a rock python.
because they're faster than us.
Yes,
Those elephants.
they're way faster. I see a rock python, and I didn't listen to the safari guide, and I just hopped right out, went down, and he comes up to me. He's like, "You can't," and I was like, "Look, I gotta go and see this rock python. Like this is a dream fulfilled for me."
What is it? What's so special about the rock python?
Just a
It's one
big
of the,
snake.
just a massive,
Right.
powerful
They're
python.
one of the biggest, aren't they?
in the wild
Right.
in Africa. That's like a bucket list experience for
Yeah,
me.
yeah,
As
yeah.
a herpetologist.
Yeah, oh yeah.
So I get down there, and he's down in this ravine. He's kind of curled up in the grass, right? And I get down there, and the guide comes up, and he's like, "Okay, all right. Just, take your pictures." And I got a stick, and I was like lifting up, the backside of it, and started to crawl. And he was like, "Okay, look, we really need to get back into this safari vehicle." And I was like, okay, just give me another minute. And all of a sudden we get soaked with water. And then we hear the trumpet. And that's the crazy thing about Africa is there are these ravines and things, these windy waterways. There was a massive bull elephant 20 feet from us. We had no idea.
Oh, yeah.
And to prove your point, he did not want us down there.
Yeah.
And we hightail it up, and he does that with his ears out and running. I realized real quickly how incredible Africa really is and how you do not want to make the mistake of getting in their
Oh
traps.
yeah, we were chased butt naked through the wilderness, like a
crazy.
football field.
That's crazy.
And I'm holding the camera, and this doesn't make it in because it's probably too shaky. And Molly, the girl, me and Matt are probably thrilled, right? Well, this is our life.
Yeah.
And Molly, she's going, I didn't sign up for this.
Oh my God.
I didn't sign.
That's funny.
I have 2 children. And like,
Wow.
that was wild. And being a herpetologist, that same episode and challenge, Matt got sprayed by the spitting cobra,
cobra. Yeah.
and into his mouth.
Dude,
what?
So he actually knows what spitting cobra venom tastes like.
Wow. Okay.
Wait. So what does that do to you when you get it in your
If it
mouth?
gets in your eyes,
that
Because
is-
you're dead.
If it's in your eyes,
Fine.
you're bad, but in
Yeah.
your mouth, apparently you're okay.
You're all right.
Wow.
You're all
Wait,
right.
wait,
Because
wait.
it's
why?
venom and not poison.
Exactly.
So you
There
spit
go.
it out, and it was, I guess that he was okay, huh?
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's-
Wow.
That's
And
why
only a
when
little
you
got in there.
when you go looking for spitting cobras, you have to wear glasses, but you don't have to wear a mask or anything when you're messing with them. Even if they spray you, I don't know what it is.
What does
but
the mouth do versus?
it doesn't envenomate you through your stomach lining for some reason, but it can when it gets into your blood. That's how it
Interesting.
well, because venom has to be injected.
right,
Poison has to be ingested.
exactly,
That's how it works.
the
So he
difference.
ingested venom.
right.
which is-
The stomach lining can handle it versus
Dude.
like I lived off tarantulas in Belize for 21 days, and
What do you mean you lived off of them?
That's so
You
I
just
ate tarantulas every day.
That's
Okay.
amazing.
So-
How were they? Were they pretty big? I'm
Guys, if you could
guessing?
see my brother Joe's
Yeah.
reactions to these.
No, see, I'm fascinated
I
by
love this.
tarantulas as well because
I'm super fascinated.
I found this one.
Oh, they're so sweet.
they're
a lot of them.
incredible creatures.
Yeah.
People don't realize it. Joe, I know my
Like,
brother's like a
sweet
giant
as in
spider.
taste or friendly?
Friendly.
Yeah, they're really cool.
Like
dude.
I was getting them and letting them run around in my body,
Yeah.
and I'd hold it like a Hot Wheel, and my cameraman / producer was scared of spiders,
Oh,
and I would chase him with them,
God.
and he would be like, "Get away from me, Gary!"
Dude.
And I'd be like, "You're out here filming a guy eating tarantulas, and you're scared of spiders," and I would pick on him,
Yeah.
and because that's a lot for a lot of people, but it was fun because you'd tickle I knew how to bring them out and then
Mhm.
catch them,
Yep.
pin them down, and then catch them.
You tickle
Yeah.
their web, right? And then they pop out.
Well, here-
Thinking there's a bug,
Mm.
yeah, with a piece of grass.
Here's an amazing thing about tarantulas, and this is when I
Did you cook them up though?
Yeah, you have to cook them because
the hairs.
they shoot hairs like pepper spray. Because when an animal's sniffing it,
Yeah.
then it gets in the animal's nose and eyes and mouth even, and they're like, and they want to get away, and the tarantula runs. Because tarantulas do everything they can do to not bite.
It's true.
And
Really?
yeah, so basically, and to not use their venom. So sometimes they'll even do it just a dry bite. But so you have to cook them, is what I'm saying. You have to singe all the hairs off and cook them, and then you hold it by the fangs because those are hard. Stick it in your mouth, eat it like a cookie, and pick your teeth with those fangs.
Yep.
And then the abdomen part pops in your mouth like a hot tomato. You want to eat some tarantula with me, Joey?
Not really. But
Oh,
so how big
my
are these fangs? That you're using
Oh,
them
they're
as
about
floss?
that. They're probably about that long.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What? What?
I mean, some of them are an inch long.
Yeah,
But
tarantula,
I love tarantulas because I read this story
but
as
they are
as
nice.
a kid.
They don't bite. Like they don't instinctually.
You have to make a spider.
It's true.
Like I have 6-year-olds that I teach, and then the parents would pick them up from school, and I'd have spiders running around their arms. There's 6-year-old little girls, and the parents walk in, they're like, she would never do that at home because you have to press a spider.
You do.
And so I teach children. I have pictures of them with pincher bugs, big ones on their eyes, and jumping spiders running around their eyes. And because you have to really try to make a spider.
Dude.
And pincher bugs don't even really bite. And so I teach children the true fear you should have
Yep.
and not the fake fear that your general population
What-
has.
100%.
What are jumping spiders? Okay, man.
Well, just real quick, I fell in love with tarantulas as a kid when I learned that there's a certain kind of tarantula that actually keeps frogs as pets.
Oh, yeah.
And the reason it does this,
Okay, come on, man.
no, I'm not
What?
kidding. It keeps little frogs as its
the
pets.
tarantula has the pet frog.
No, it's true. I know.
Matt,
Go and
listen,
research
bro.
this. I'm not
Listen,
kidding,
buddy.
guys. A tarantula
You're
keeps,
cool, man, but
listen, let me
something's wrong
finish.
with
Let me
you.
finish.
Yeah.
A tarantula will keep little frogs as pets.
So I didn't know
It'll
you
take-
guys. I didn't know you guys had a special brother.
I know.
He's
exactly.
special.
You know,
He's been able to spend his whole life doing this.
I'm just kidding.
He never actually had any children, so he's been able to learn all about jumping frogs and spiders that love frogs as pets.
Well, no. Okay. It's a very good reason.
No, I like this.
I'm
story.
sure
I
it's
know
a
what
great
you're talking
reason.
about.
It's a symbiotic relationship.
Absolutely.
So the spider,
That's how I feel with you.
The spider protects the little frogs from
Uh-huh.
other predators, and the frogs eat insects that eat the spider's eggs.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh.
So the
Oh,
frogs,
yeah, it keeps it down in the hole with it.
So the
Yeah.
frogs
What?
protect
I've
the
seen- yeah, I
baby
know.
spiders. So the mama will allow the frogs and take care of the frogs.
While she goes and eats.
Exactly right.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, I know. See,
What is she? So wait a minute. How does the frog get in there? He's like, hey, I'm not going down in that hole. You're out of your mind. It's like, no, come on in.
Yeah.
It'll be great.
It's warm.
What
It's
kind
cozy.
of hole do you think this is? It's a friendly hole.
Yeah.
Come on.
With all these legs and
Yeah, yeah.
eyes.
Pretty much.
Yeah. Frog's
So wait a
like,
minute. So the
all
frog
right.
just ventures down in there just out of curiosity?
no,
I mean, frogs don't eat spiders.
She'll
no
actually.
frogs eat anything.
Yeah,
Yeah.
What do you mean?
Yeah.
They go shove crap in their mouth.
Oh,
The
yeah.
bullfrogs,
Oh
they'll
my
eat.
gosh.
How big? So is it bullfrogs? What kind of frogs
No,
are
these
these?
are little frogs.
What kind?
She doesn't want to take the chance of getting eaten herself.
Right.
So she'll go and collect little frogs, and she'll keep, and the frogs realize real quickly, oh, I've got, because the insects are attracted to the
Yeah.
kind of.
Come on in, froggies.
Pretty much.
This is
Let me
unbelievable.
suck your venom.
Yeah.
pretty
Oh,
much.
it's unbelievable. Yeah.
Pretty much.
Unbelievable.
But yeah, so the frogs realize real quickly that the insects are attracted to the nest.
Okay.
So they're getting fed.
Yeah,
And then
yeah.
they're getting
Oh.
protection. So why would they leave if they've got a nice
Right.
home, they've
Yeah.
got someone protecting them, and they got food?
Absolutely.
Now,
They're good to go.
if the frog gets too big, is that like?
No, because it's a certain kind of frog.
Yeah, they don't. It doesn't get big.
Oh, wow.
Because you're right. I mean, there's Pac-Man frogs, and there's the African bullfrog. I mean,
Oh God, yeah.
they eat rats,
Yeah.
birds,
Yeah.
like African.
Come on.
I'm not
Oh,
kidding.
yeah.
Rats. They
Yeah.
shove them in their mouth. It's hilarious. They go,
Yeah, there's frogs
"Ah."
that'll eat anything.
It's like Jabba the Hutt, for
Yeah.
God's
Yeah,
sake.
pretty much.
That's probably what
You know, that
inspired
thing-
Jabba.
Honestly,
yeah.
honestly,
Yeah, it
Jabba
looks
looked
like him.
froggish.
Yeah.
Yeah, his
He
face
did.
looks like
He did
an
look like a
African
frog.
bullfrog.
You know what else is symbiotic that I love? I love this stuff. You probably know about this
Hmm.
because now Joe was fascinated by that. I got another one. You know what ants keep as livestock? Do you?
Ooh, that's a good one. I know
Aphids.
the aphids because of the funguses that
They keep the aphids as livestock.
because they milk them.
Yep, they
yes,
milk them.
that's right. I've seen it.
And so
Yeah.
if you touch a plant with a bunch of aphids on it, sometimes a bunch of ants will
Ants.
come running out.
Oh yeah.
So people have said, well, we're the only species that keeps animals as livestock, and I said, no,
true.
Ants. And so
100% true.
So what they do, even when it's going to rain, they'll corral them up under the leaves.
Yep.
And because
They'll take care of
they stimulate
way.
the aphids, and the aphids put out a sugary liquid,
right.
and they drink it. They milk it.
That's 100% correct. I have a greenhouse, okay, and I grow a lot of hibiscus for my iguanas in the greenhouse.
Yeah.
And aphids love hibiscuses. They love them.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, I'm having this massive ant problem in there as well.
Oh, I wonder why we have an ant problem on this property.
And then and then I go and I'm trying to clean off the aphids, and
Gnat.
sure enough, I'm getting attacked.
Yeah, they'll attack you.
By the
They
ants.
actually defend their aphids like
So
like
true.
we defend cattle.
So true.
And I'm going to tell you something. This is one thing people don't know. You never really have an ant problem
right.
because if you leave, there's this place in Costa Rica where the ants come every year or two, big ones, and they just let them come in. And they'll eat all the dead roaches behind the fridge.
Right.
They'll kill the spiders, and they just clean house. And
True.
they clean. And when I'm a beekeeper, I spilled a bunch of
Oh,
honey in my
love that,
floor.
man.
I was in a hurry. I came and I knew I had a little ant problem. I came back like a week later. I had to go somewhere, and all the honey was completely gone.
It's gone,
The
huh?
ants just completely.
Wow.
So if you let them, like you're saying, they'll well, you needed to get rid of the aphids actually, so you didn't want those ants around. But
I
ants,
gave up because it's impossible in a greenhouse. I mean,
Yeah.
it literally you have to remove all the plants.
so ants actually raise aphids, and they'll clean your house for you. It's not like a
wild.
roach.
I try to explain this to people. I get so upset when I see the pesticide people come by and spraying people's yards in particular. I understand, look, some people want to spray the inside of their home. I wouldn't do it, but I understand. I think it's crazy.
Which is more poisonous for them
Yeah.
than
I
the
know,
animal.
I know. I
I
think it's
know.
crazy, but when
I
I
agree.
see them spraying the yards, I'm like, do you realize what you're doing?
Yeah.
You're creating a
spraying
monoculture. So you're going to
poison.
have all spiders or
Yeah.
all roaches
Yeah.
or all things,
Yeah.
all pests that you don't want.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
the craziest thing to me.
I was recording an album out here off Lancashire years ago. And while the guy was in there mixing my album, I was walking around the outside of the building, and I discovered 50 black widows because
Right.
they come out at night.
Yep.
So
50 of them?
yeah.
Oh yeah.
So I went and showed him because it was fascinating.
Yeah.
And he's like, oh, crap. And he goes to get the bug spray. And I'm like, dude, they're here for a reason.
Totally.
You never noticed them. And I'm a beekeeper and I save bees for a living, humanely.
Okay.
And as soon as humans know where something is at,
I know.
their first instinct is
to kill
kill it.
Yeah,
I know. I don't understand it.
And instead of seeing a beehive or the black widows even as a gift of nature that is keeping your roach colony down,
Exactly right, man.
they
I know.
they view it as spiders are the best thing to have around.
I keep saying this. I don't know if you noticed. If you walked in, everybody's always like, "Why all these spider webs?" Because now LA has a mosquito problem.
Yes.
If I didn't leave
Yeah.
all these spider webs there, do you know how many would be flying in our door?
true. Yeah.
It's like
true.
I don't understand.
And they're there because something they know about something that is flying through that door.
Yeah.
Exactly right. 100%. I
Yeah.
don't understand. Nature always has a solution.
Man thinks he knows better.
I know, and it's crazy because we don't. Nature's had billions of years to craft
Yeah.
the harmony of nature, and it's just such a shame that we come along and we think
We just want to stomp everything out
stomp
that
everything
crawls.
out. I know, it's wild.
Yeah. You're pissing me off now.
Me too, man.
Uh-oh.
I know.
A lot of
I
knives
know.
over
Don't
there.
you
Let's
got
not
you
get
see
I
me
know.
on TV. I will lose my shit.
I know.
Yeah.
I know. It pisses
Yeah.
me off too, though,
Sorry.
man. Genuinely.
It's instinct.
Do you have kids?
Genuinely.
Do you have kids? Do you ever have kids of your own? I mean, I know you work with a lot of kids.
No, I've never had kids. I've had opportunities. I was always too wild,
I get it.
and
I get it.
I knew I was. I straightened my life out a little more later in life, and
Well, you're still a pretty young guy. How old are you?
I'm 57.
Oh, that's nothing, bro.
Wow.
Now, how old are you?
48.
Oh, you're a young buck.
Wow.
Are you the oldest one out of
I
these
am.
kids?
The oldest one.
Yeah.
You little
Yep.
Yeah.
young handsome bucks.
He's
Yeah.
44 and he's 36.
I'll tell you what. When I do those challenges, you're Jeff's age. When I do those challenges,
Is Jeff my age?
yeah.
Oh my God!
When I do those challenges,
way.
I'm the oldest one out there.
Wow.
That's crazy.
Climbing in those trees, outperforming them in
Yeah.
a lot of areas. And one time I was across the pond from Jeff, and I go, Jeff, how old are you? On the first LOS, last one standing. He goes, 35. I go, dude, I'm 20 years older than you. And he goes, I'm old enough to be your dad, dude. And he goes, Gary, you'll never see me out here at your age.
Dude,
Oh my God,
that's
funny.
crazy.
That's funny. Yeah.
And
No,
well,
it's true. I mean, I you think about a lot of people. I mean, you just wouldn't even consider it. Wouldn't even consider it.
yeah, and the way I look at it is like this. No matter what you want to say about me, as far as how I perform in life, I've come to the terms now where that's got to be an inspiration and a signal for young people of what they will be capable of if they take care of themselves, and for older people.
Yeah, for sure, man.
So I got if people are paying attention, there's both, and I'm usually the oldest out there, and I'll look at them and I'll be like, a lot of people, especially certain generations, are on a lot of different medications.
I know, man.
And
I
and it's
crazy.
hard to hear an older guy talk crap on that
Yeah.
because you think that he doesn't know what he's talking. Why wouldn't he know what he's talking about of all people?
For sure.
Yeah.
You
No,
know,
it's
like
true.
Of course.
It's definitely
like
true.
so it's like I always mess with people. That's if you see me, I pick on people. I tease people
Yeah.
about their mentality in life, like when it comes to bugs.
Yeah.
Or even this type of stuff. And I'm like, hey, what do I know? I could just climb trees and do backflips at my age. Like, don't
Yeah.
listen. Yeah, you're right. Don't listen to me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
You know, why
No.
would you listen to that guy?
Anyway.
I build compost bins at schools for kids.
Very cool.
And it clicked really hard as we had the compost bin and we were throwing the fruit in there on top. So the worms would,
Mm-hmm.
a worm bin, a worm bin.
The red worms or whatever. Is that
Yeah,
what
so
you
the
get?
worms would come up and eat it. And then I would teach the kids under a guava tree.
Yeah.
And then I would pick up because of the way I am,
Yeah.
I would pick up the guavas off the ground and eat them first. And they were
Mm.
fermented and stuff. And then I realized, oh crap, we're just simulating these guavas rot here. The worms come up and eat them. And then there's worms. The tree is feeding itself.
100%.
Because if nobody eats it, it's like, okay,
So
well, I'll
true.
just feed the worms. Worms will poop. I'll eat the worm poop.
Yep.
And it keeps feeding itself. We're simulating, and with the worm bin, basically what the tree is doing right in front of you
Yep.
by
So
letting the
true.
fruit rot on the
Mm.
ground and making worms, right?
Yep.
And I was like, and this one child, he said the best thing when I was teaching them what soil is, because I have this saying that I make the children say. I say, what's the most valuable stuff on earth? And they go, poop and soil. I go, more valuable than what? Diamonds and gold. Why is that? Because you can't eat diamonds and gold. And then I go, what's the most powerful sentence known to all humanity? And they go, consume as little as possible. And then I go, because if every human being on earth did this today, the planet would be cleaner by tomorrow. But I teach them that soil is the most valuable thing on earth. And then this one kid goes, well, basically, dirt and soil is just recycled life. And I said, yeah, that's the best way to put it, right?
It's such a
Because
great
dirt
way
and
to
soil is
put
made up of everything. Seashells, seeds, skeletons. Soil is just made up of everything.
That is actually
is.
quite profound for
100%.
sure.
Wow, that's really cool.
And that's what I
really
love
cool,
about
man.
my work is that's what I want my legacy to be is the guy that I want to be known for teaching children what nature really is and how to be self-reliant and grow their own food and how to be strong little humans, strong humans.
Great, man.
And so, that's why we're on this as we talk about all this. And it just hit me right now even more that out of everything, people say, you just want attention. I hear that all the time. You're crazy. You just want attention. I'm like, well, and I usually go, duh. Well, yeah, I think that's kind of obvious.
Yeah.
But at least I found a way to bring attention to something that is powerful and not just, I kind of tell people I'm kind of like a Charlie Sheen-esque character where I run my mouth and I talk a lot and do all kinds of stuff. But if you compare what we're talking about,
Yeah.
mine is powerful, and instead of tiger's blood and blow,
Yeah.
is like I running my mouth about stuff that is truly powerful and good for the children of the earth.
Yeah, for sure.
And then I run my mouth about it because I'm passionate about it.
I appreciate what you're doing. I think it's really an important balance, and I'm happy to see people that are out there that are drawing attention to our lives the way that they were intended to be lived. That's an important element.
Yeah,
Technology is what it is. There are certain benefits, and there are certain things that are not great about it.
Convergence, Joe.
Yeah.
Convergence.
But it is really important.
T1000.
And I say all the time, like something happens, in this day and age, you never know, right? With the new world's wars are going to be on grids. It's not necessarily going to be bombs and bullets. It'll probably be grids and technology. And at that point, man, we're so dependent on that stuff. I get fearful that they flip a switch and the whole world's blacked out in 2 minutes. And like, what are we going to do at that
Well,
point?
at that point, that's funny you say that because that's why I became a survivalist.
Right.
And Y2K.
I understand.
When Y2K was
Oh
hitting,
yeah, I understand. That makes sense.
I was always a nature boy, always barefooted, and people always told me you shouldn't be barefooted all the time and all this stuff. And I was always this type of kid. And I said, I'm going to do something about this, and I'm actually going to educate myself and become truly knowledgeable in this area.
Cool.
Especially because Y2K was coming, we were scared airplanes were going to fall out of the sky.
Right.
So I took
Nothing was going to update. It was going to go to 2000
Computers
and
were
everything
gonna
was going to
reset.
fly.
Yeah.
out. Right.
And so
I remember that.
I
Me
immersed
too.
myself in the wilderness for, you guys were little kids,
Mhm.
And so I immersed myself in the wilderness for a year, and I took survival course after survival course and actually became a survivalist. And I was inspired by not wanting to be controlled and by tyranny and being a slave to the system. And then,
My dog's snoring. Yeah, my dog Shmee is.
Gosh,
He's snoozing.
He's a
and
real
then
character.
what happens is, I know I saw your dog earlier. He looks very delicious.
Oh no.
I know. It's a careful Shmee.
Yeah, I know. Gary's here,
You might get
Shmee.
eaten.
Be
Yeah.
careful.
I'm like, damn, that duck's a nice, fat, healthy.
Yeah, he is.
So like that's why. So the guy that you see on this show, on the challenges of Naked and Afraid, is inspired. A lot of that was created by Y2K and a life and a life as a child. Because when I was a kid, we had something called Indian guides,
Yeah.
where we made our own moccasins, we made our own vests,
Yeah.
and we actually aspired to be like the natives, and we were allies of the natives. Unfortunately, that'd be called cultural appropriation, which is not. We loved them. And we learned about them and wanted to be like them, which is not a bad thing, right?
No,
And
it's beautiful.
so that's where I come from, my background. And so then you fast forward and I become a survivalist. And then I went viral around the world. I saved a kid's life in Palos Verdes in a cave, like an 18-year-old kid. He got stuck in a cave and I jumped in and went after him. And I brought him back with CPR. And as I went after him, I was fighting for my life. The waves died down. My friend pulled him out. I gave him CPR and brought him back. It went viral around the world, and that's how Naked and Afraid found me.
No way.
So yeah, and I got the Carnegie Hero Medal. It's a medal that you get if a civilian saves a life.
No way.
Because the billionaire Carnegie set up a trust, where if a civilian risked their life to save a life, it was all caught on camera. Then I got $6,000 and I got a scholarship to go anywhere, and I was all over the news. And that's how Naked and Afraid found me. So the karma from that is then I become this TV personality on a show about survival from saving a life. And then, as radical as I was, this lady asked me, she saw me online saving bees and said, will you come to our school and teach the kids about the bees? I did it for free. I volunteered. They saw how amazing I was with kids and my nature knowledge, and they said, will you work for us?
Wow.
Because at the time I was a decorated hero too. They thought that was great to have a hero be the teacher of their children. So Naked and Afraid finds me, and they see all this, and they're like, holy crap, a survivalist that teaches children, that saves lives in nature? And then they put me on TV, and I'm the wildest, craziest personality on there, right?
Yeah.
And it was just the perfect storm. So that's a story of the perfect storm of where I'm at today, right?
Did they
and
reach
now
out
I'm
to
sought
you?
after as a teacher to teach children
great, man.
privately.
That's great.
Did
dude.
they
That is
reach
so
out
cool.
to
I
you?
love hearing
So
that.
did Naked and Afraid reach out to you, or how did you get linked up with that?
In a sense, and an old friend worked for them, was an editor, and said, dude, he wanted to make a show about me years ago, about my life, because my life is, I was, feeding homeless, I was doing all this stuff in nature, and so he's like, dude, we got to make a show about you, and he was pitching me to the networks, but reality TV slowed down at the time, so then he became an editor for Naked and Afraid, and he said, dude, I'm working for the perfect show for you, and
No way.
so, but here's how he found me again in life. He saw me saving the life on TV, and he goes, I know Gary Golding. 12 years ago, we were both musicians before that, 12 years before that. And he goes, but he went off to take editing classes to become an adult.
Right.
And then he's all, holy crap, that's Gary. He said, dude, I Googled you and saw all the stuff you're doing with your life. Man, we got to make a show about you.
That's crazy.
And so, and I sat down with Discovery years before I was ever on Naked and Afraid. They also, for a show called The Colony, I don't know if you remember.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
So they took me, and if you have ever heard me in my interviews, I am freaking nuts, like wildly nuts. So they took me aside and said, hey, we don't want you on the show The Colony. We think you're interesting enough to make a show about you. So I walked in there again for a higher level interview with 7 people all taking notes.
Yeah.
Maybe you guys have seen this. And I brought my little dog, let it run around because I knew I was crazy, and I wanted to show that like I'm capable of love because I'm so nuts. And they called me up. Jacqueline Pittman. You ever hear of Pittman Casting?
Yes, of course,
Yeah.
Pittman.
Yeah. Jacqueline, the owner. So I go to the casting. Now it turns from The Colony. And if you could see me in the meetings that made this happen, where instead of The Colony, they branched me off and said, we want to make a show about you. And she calls me after this meeting with all these top dogs. And she says, Gary, you 90% of what you say is fascinating and brilliant. And 10% is scary and offensive. And we don't think America's ready for you. And we don't think you'll take direction. And I said, and I didn't have any YouTube videos yet. So she couldn't see how I come off on camera. And I said, no, hey, I just was throwing it all out there. I could collaborate, I work with people.
Yeah.
And she's all, yeah, no. And I scared him.
Wow.
And I was just too radical. And I'm perfect for something like, I even scare these people,
Yeah.
the Naked and Afraid people.
Yeah.
I even scare them because I'm eating coyotes and I'm radical, but I'm like, I'm the best radical they got. Like, I mean, it's like, so what? I'm a bad boy. I'm the bad boy of the show.
Yeah.
That's
the
why I
channel.
was drawn to you, honestly, because when I
Yeah.
first was introduced to you as your character on Naked and Afraid, you're crazy. Like
Yeah.
it's absolutely, dude. And then I saw your Instagram. I was like, holy cow, this dude is like, not only is he crazy, but he's very knowledgeable and totally capable of love and working with kids. And it was so,
Yeah.
I became a big fan and very admirable.
Thank you. Yeah, because I tell people, you know how much knowledge you have to have to eat maggots?
totally.
I mean,
No,
you have
it's-
to know what you're doing to
To-
come out okay on the end of that.
it's true.
right?
Yeah.
Very true.
And so,
Well, you kept coming back. That's the thing. If you
Yeah.
disappeared after one challenge, then maybe it would be discredited. But you kept coming back, and you're there, even on the last one standing. So that's proof in the pudding, man.
yeah, that's
You
what I
know?
tell people. I go,
Yeah.
it's like, it's like they miss that because they just see it as pure crazy because they're coming from their civilization mindset.
Yeah.
And they don't realize, hey man, I'm living like a caveman, life or death. I'm teaching a class,
For sure.
you know,
crazy.
basically.
Do they
I get stung by 60, 70 bees at a time. Getting those beehives, I get stung up. Like you see me, last one standing, the first one is probably the prime example where I drove home survivability because those eggs, they said I got 60, I got 90.
Right.
That's where it was filmed. Then the maggots, then the honey. Then I mean, I'm touching on every aspect of survival pretty much. And then the other the mulberries. Did you see where I was? I ate those mulberries for 2 hours. I stripped that tree completely gone.
I love mulberries.
Yeah,
They're delicious.
So the eggs, the mulberries, the honey. I'm out there sourcing food in ways that other people won't touch, like the maggots. Oh, there's a scene where you see me showing Waz how to get the paddle cactus. I don't know if you remember that.
Mm-hmm.
I taught them how to eat paddle cactus out there because I was eating it raw. They didn't know you could eat it raw.
Yeah.
As soon as you walked into the property, Gary starts climbing up the palm trees and he took those red little fruits and starts nibbling on them. He's like, nah, that's not good enough. And then he starts investigating all the plants. And
That's so cool. I love that.
Oh, yeah. I was out there seeing what you guys had edible on the property.
Yeah.
You know?
It's super cool,
and
man.
the most delicious thing I saw out there was that iguana.
I know.
That iguana's beautiful.
Yeah, he's a big.
I was telling him they eat mice. My friend had one that big, and he would put a mice in front.
Oh, they will, yeah.
A mouse in front of it, and that thing would come over and just grab the mice and eat it.
Yeah, Jomo used to. Sorry, Andy. Jomo used to take out some of the ground squirrels. That would when didn't always live here. We used to live in another place, kind of up on the hill, and there were a lot of ground squirrels, and the ground squirrels started coming in and eating his food.
He loves squirrels.
I know, but he would
So
take
does
them out.
So does
But
he.
he would. So he did funny thing. He ate one, but after that he didn't want to eat them. But he would kill them and he would leave them by the door for me.
What, the iguana?
The iguana would kill the ground squirrel and leave it by the
That's
door.
insane.
Yeah, my friend
Get out of my
my
cage.
friend had a big iguana like yours. You might know this. This was so fascinating. He had a shelf in his bedroom that the iguana was on. He would walk the iguana down, put it in the tree, take off, leave his back sliding glass door
And
open.
come back.
It knew the route.
Oh yeah.
He'd come home and the iguana's back on the shelf because that's its home.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, they're very much like
They're
that.
smarter than people know.
Oh yeah, they really
Way
are.
smarter,
Yeah.
way more social than people understand. You know, because they live in colonies, so they have to have the understanding of a hierarchy.
I didn't know they lived in colonies.
Yeah, they do. Absolutely. So, I've seen a whole group living together and they all, there's a dominant male and then there's the ones underneath them and then there's a dominant female and the one underneath her. So they have iguana society and they have all these different head bobs and head rolls and dewlap flaps and the way that they arch their back and the way they use their crest to communicate, as well as color. People don't realize this. I learned this firsthand. One day I was going out there and I had a red hoodie on. You would have thought a bomb went off. It was like lightning. I mean,
Yeah, don't wear red.
red. You cannot wear red around them. That is a sign of danger.
Everywhere. Red's
Big-
always a
yeah,
sign. Even
big
in Africa, they tell you not
danger.
to wear
Sharks
red.
too. Sharks
Yeah.
like red.
I don't know. That might be a myth. But
That's a myth.
That's a myth. But the lions, because it's blood. They just don't. You just
Well,
don't
they're
wanna-
colorblind,
Yeah,
but-
but still, they say not to wear red.
you know,
in
Yeah.
Africa. Yeah,
I
bright
think
colors.
that's more for the mosquitoes.
bright colors.
No, dark colors.
No, they say
Mosquitoes.
don't wear bright colors.
No, don't wear dark colors. Don't wear black and dark colors. You can wear whites and tans. You don't want to wear your dark colors. Mosquitoes are highly attracted to dark.
Interesting.
Really?
You have a something that piqued my interest here. You said you have a bug out bag that you fly with.
Yeah.
What is that?
Here, I'm going to show it to you guys. This is fascinating. This is knowledgeable stuff for guys that travel, right? So,
And you have all these blades. Look at all these knives.
yeah, this is the blade that I use on all my challenges. This is a Matt Wright blade.
What?
Yeah, he made this
No
for me.
way.
Oh,
It's rusty right now,
my
but-
gosh.
No way.
Look
And now,
at
what I
that.
love about this machete, my first challenge I ever did on Naked and Afraid, I brought a $10 Harbor Freight machete.
Shut up, dude.
Yeah, because I didn't know better.
Yeah.
I've been learning. I've been doing things for 8 years now, and the stuff that you learn. So when people talk to me about, they'll be like, about if you, I make a lot of mistakes because I just play loose and fast, right? I don't care. I'm just having fun out there, but I'll tell you about this knife. First of all, this is a vine puller, right? A vine puller, and if you skin animals,
Yeah.
But this is to make arrows through the
What?
hole. Yeah.
Oh shit.
To make arrows.
Oh
and,
way,
my
dude.
goodness.
and then And
No
then
way.
I had him sharpen this side. It's not usually sharp because if I wanted to tie it to a stick to make a spear.
Yeah.
And
Wow,
what I
look at
love about
that.
this, if you hold it, the way it's weighted, because a $10 Harbor Freight machete will bounce off a tree.
Mm.
But if you look at the arch on this, I figured this out, like it's pretty much the same as an axe, right?
Mm.
Wow.
You know an axe blade?
Yeah.
And so this thing's heavy enough that I could chop down some small trees, right?
Wow.
And then so this blade has so many utilities, and when I was out there on the first Naked and Afraid challenge, the producer said, "What are you doing with a $10 Harbor Freight machete?" You know, and I was like, "Well, I thought a machete was a machete."
Yeah.
And he said, "No," and then I learned, and he said, "You got to get one of Matt Wright's knives,"
Wow.
because he was inviting me to go on my first XL, and sure enough,
No way.
Matt
dude.
made me a knife. And now this too, you got the back end for like
Popping things.
popping stuff, but
Right.
also this on my Belize challenge, I was using this to bust nuts
Oh yeah.
and eat cahoon nuts. And
Wow.
so this knife, I also use it on challenges as a post hole digger to dig post holes
Oh
to
yeah.
build my shelters.
No way.
Yeah. And then so I could sharpen it because there's a little sharpener here.
Oh my
'Cause that
goodness.
dulls a blade.
Yeah.
And so that's all the uses that
Wow, it's a
this
lot of
knife,
utility.
a lot of utility, right?
Wow, man.
So cool,
So,
dude.
anyways, now that's just this knife, right?
That's just one knife. That's pretty sweet.
And I'm gonna take this. This is fascinating. I think you guys will dig this. Like,
the hell are you pulling out over there? You never know, Gary.
I don't have the flint,
You never know.
but here's what I want to
cool.
tell you about a. Actually, I should get the flint out,
Mhm.
especially because you go to Africa. Now, this is fascinating. What this does, more than start fires. Check this out, though. You get the idea. So, the fire was out, and you just got coals, and I couldn't find my knife.
Mm.
So then, this is attached. It came unglued.
Right.
So normally it's attached, but it doesn't
Yeah.
matter if it is or not. If you got, sometimes we just have a flint, like
Mhm.
you guys got out
Mhm.
there. And on our last challenges, we've only been getting a flint. So a flint. Now, so I couldn't see, but you would be amazed at.
Oh yeah.
So look,
Just
Yeah.
that
so,
a
so
li- it's
now
like a
look,
little
when it's
lantern.
dark, that lights up the whole freaking room.
Right.
So it's a flashlight.
Wow.
Mm.
It strobes, and if you go fast,
You can see shit.
you can see everything.
Yeah.
Hey.
Yeah.
So this is a flashlight in the wild.
Yep.
Got
I
it.
want to tell you guys that because if you ever
That is really cool.
then what I would do is I could actually use this to show you. So do you mind if I ding it or no?
No.
Okay.
It's not even ours.
So
Friends.
Oh.
and it won't
Yeah,
harm
go
it.
ahead.
So the pot lid, I would get the cast iron pot lid and it usually has a loop on it, right?
Okay.
Yeah.
So I'm holding it different now. And I would put my finger through and I would hold this. And then so when the hyenas would come,
Oh.
it goes ding, bing, bing, bing,
Right.
and a spark, and I go pop, pop, pop
Right.
with my mouth.
Yeah.
And this thing lights up.
Right.
You have to understand. So it's a bright light in the animal's face with a bing, bing, bing.
Great.
So it's a predator deterrent as well.
Mm.
So your fire starter is a predator deterrent, flashlight, and this is all stuff I invented. Nobody taught me this. This is by being alone in the wild so much
Yeah.
that you had to be resourceful and figure this out. So now I teach this, right? So this is firsthand experience. And so then,
Very cool.
so it's a flashlight, a predator deterrent, and at night, if someone's looking for you in a helicopter and you hear one, bop, bop,
oh,
a signal.
That's
Wow.
right. A
Wow.
Signal.
Really cool.
A fire starter does all that. Now think
Wow.
about that. All right? Coming from crazy Gary Golding. So,
Dude, that's pretty awesome.
That's very cool. I
yeah,
love that.
thank me.
Look at that, dude.
Oh.
Cool, man.
that.
That's really cool.
No, thanks, man. I appreciate
I'm
it.
joking.
Yeah.
But so now that's just a
The
fire
knowledge.
starter,
Yeah.
Amazing.
right? And a knife.
Amazing.
And all those uses.
That is amazing. Holy
Yeah.
cow.
So now I want to talk to you guys about all you young bucks, you young little son of bitches. Sons of bitches.
I'm not young, man.
What?
48, dude.
48's young. I wish I was 48 again.
Well,
Yeah.
9 years.
God, man.
I got 11 and a half years on him.
I know you do, huh? You're the big brother.
Yeah.
Yeah. Was he an asshole growing up?
No, never. I was lucky. These guys were always.
He was a protector.
Yeah.
You
Always.
guys,
definitely.
you guys have good. You guys seem like you have
Yeah.
a great. This is great. You guys are doing like have a relationship.
Yeah,
like,
man.
Yeah, it's
chase
good stuff.
like a little dream like this together.
Yeah, it's
Me
great.
and my brother, who's my bass player in my band, we,
That's
were,
cool.
we would chase a dream together.
Yeah.
Best friends, kids, all growing up.
Yeah.
That's
and
awesome. dude.
Had a band for 20 years. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
awesome.
It's the same as us, man.
You guys had a band?
Well, I mean,
We've done music together.
done
Yeah.
music
yeah,
and
yeah.
the
Oh, yeah.
acting, and we've
I
just
know
all
you guys
grown
did,
up
oh, yeah,
together.
you guys had a show together.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yep.
So yeah, we've been chasing the dream
Oh,
together.
that's beautiful. that
Working
you
on a
guys-
new show again
Man, when
together.
brothers can do that
fun.
together,
I know.
Pretty fun,
that's
dude.
the thing, right?
That is,
fun.
man, for sure.
What kind
okay,
of music do you guys play?
alternative rock.
Okay,
I was
cool.
I was a singer, and when I was young, I was able to do flips off the roofs of houses, like 10 feet high, onto the ground, onto concrete, and dance. And I used to the whiskey. They used to have this tower off to the side of the stage.
Huh.
It was like a 10-foot size tower,
Crazy.
and I used to do backflips off that into the audience.
Do they let you do
Oh my
backflips
gosh.
off at whiskey now?
I gave up the band stuff.
Yeah, no more backflips.
So now I want to show you guys something. That aside, those are just fun little stories. So here's how I travel. Now this is a bag, a carry-on. The reason I stress this bag is because I could bring it onto a plane.
Right. Very cool.
So if a plane goes down, it's a dry bag. So now I usually, when I'm flying, I usually fly with this out in the little pocket in front of me on the plane, because this is an underwater dive light.
Huh.
So if that plane goes down, I'm like, boom. Let's say it goes dark, and maybe it hits the water, it hits land, or it just goes dark. I'm like, boom, I got a light, and I got I don't have it in the overhead. I put this under the seat in front
Yeah.
of me. So I'm like ready to rock and roll. And so if it goes dark, I'm like, boom, underwater, whatever. If I got to swim out, find a way out through a window, or it just goes dark and we're all in the plane, everybody's panicking. I'm like, boom, lit up like a mother, grab my bag. So then in this bag, now this light will last for a couple of days if I conserve it, right? And underwater and waterproof in case I have to make
That's
it through
amazing.
rain or whatever, right? So then let's say I make it to my location. I keep a bicycle light because it's USB charged in there too. And then that way, when that light dies,
Love
I'm not worried
headlamps.
about it. This is
Yeah.
this is rechargeable by USB, and then I carry one of these with me. Now, you seen those solar batteries that they sell, those little ones?
yeah.
Those are crap.
Okay.
The ones that just have one panel.
Yeah.
They take a week to charge. They're a gimmick. You charge them up, you bring them with you, and they'll work.
Right.
Most people don't ever really need it, so they don't find this out. So they're making money off you.
Right.
So I looked into it and I researched it, and I got the one with 4 panels.
Oh, wow.
That way it will charge in a day with sunlight.
Very cool.
Maybe 2 days with clouds, right? So I could actually recharge my phone for communication. I could
Okay.
actually recharge my battery. So I have a rechargeable battery out there in the wild
Very
with,
cool.
with the phone charger and the USB for the thing. So I travel with that because this actually works. The 4-panel ones. Okay.
Very cool.
Not those single panel ones.
Yeah.
You'll use them once and then you won't be able to charge them again.
Got it.
Then I always travel because it's small. It's hard to travel with the tarp. So I travel with a rain fly to a tent. This is to my hammock. But a rain fly, because the number one thing I want to do if it's raining and it's coming down or whatever,
Right.
I'm going to want to put up shelter, be dry,
yeah. Very cool.
and have a light to work by that's waterproof. So I got shelter, vision, then
Power.
in case I have to move through the jungle, let's say. And people always go, well, when's the last time you were on a plane that went down? And I say, well, that's the worst case scenario.
Right, exactly.
I have it with me in the hotel room wherever I'm staying in case
Right.
something goes down,
Yeah.
an earthquake.
Yeah.
Let's say we're on a bus going through the jungle and the doors get kicked in by some bad guys, cartel or whatever.
true.
And I'm like, I bail out the window, or they just rob us and take our stuff and we're out there.
Yep. 100%.
Or let's say it crashes.
Yeah.
Any disaster anywhere in the world.
Yeah.
So I always have a poncho that's ready so I could walk and
Cool.
move in the rain if I have to,
Yep.
an emergency one. And then this is where it gets pretty cool, where then I got inventive. And this is the coolest part about it. I took a cocktail
I was
shaker
about to say martini shaker.
and
Making martinis out there.
Never know when you need a stiff drink.
yeah. And this is to calm my
all
nerves.
this, he goes,
I'm like,
is for when I want a little alcohol.
this sucks out here. No.
Not
Never know when you need a stiff
No.
drink.
No, this is the cool part. So
And you can fly with all this?
yeah, this is all stuff you could fly with. Now, Now, some stuff I don't know if I should really share or
I
not.
know.
Well, you don't have to.
So this is cotton balls.
I have those in my little.
This is Vaseline.
What are we getting into here, Gary?
That'll burn for 7 minutes, one cotton ball.
Wait, what?
Wow.
That's why I was going to show you some stuff with fire out there.
Wow.
This is way better than any magnesium.
Oh my
travel
goodness.
with.
Really?
Because, yeah, and I'll show you outside. Magnesium goes up real quick.
Right.
You got to have something that'll ignite. This does ignite, stays ignited for a long time, so you could throw sticks on it.
Wow.
Better.
Very
This
cool.
works even better than those cubes that you buy.
What's
At
what's
the
the
store.
Vaseline for?
It's the
Petroleum. It's
Yeah.
gasoline. It's basically fuel on the cotton ball.
So you put the cotton ball
In the Vaseline, yeah.
and then you flint it, light it,
Yeah.
and it'll
Yeah,
burn
if
for
you
7
guys had a
minutes.
metal tin here, I should have brought one in.
No, it's
No,
okay.
I could show you, and it would burn a long time. So I've timed
Very
7,
nice.
7 minutes.
Wow.
That's a long time.
Yeah, flint.
Beats a match.
Magnesium
doesn't it?
does not do that.
Wow.
So then, excuse me, I always travel with a few hooks
Yep.
and some stinky bait in case I do want to fish.
Did you say stinky bait or sticky bait?
Stinky.
What's stinky bait?
It attracts fish.
Oh,
And
God.
then one of these,
What is this?
you know,
Necklace. What do you think?
necklace.
We like it.
But
Very
It's
nice.
like naked and afraid. Gotta have your necklace. Wait, what? Is that another like flint or
Yep.
something?
Oh my
Wow.
goodness.
so it's small jewelry.
Yeah. Very cool. Love that,
Really
man.
Then I also
Like
travel.
Mary Poppins bag. That
I
thing
don't know.
is
It just
just
doesn't
more stuff
end.
coming
What's
out of it.
doesn't end?
I have,
So
look at
then-
this, a small wooden.
Oh,
one.
paracord.
Paracords,
A
great.
bracelet with paracord,
Yep.
compass, a whistle, but also another.
Flint?
Yep.
No,
Wow.
really?
Oh
Wow.
my
Wow.
goodness. That's
So-
super cool.
So now check it out. So then what this is?
You boil water and
Yes,
There you go.
this is a kettle.
Yeah.
A kettle. Now you could take this lid off, and then you can see when it boils. So start telling
That's
you.
amazing.
But also, this right here.
Is that a saw?
Yeah, it's a saw, but it's not a blade. So I can bring a saw.
Oh my gosh. You wrap it around, right?
Yeah,
Done.
if I need a saw because it's so light, I bring it. But also, what this does is this actually will hook on to. So this, what I do with this is you throw this with water or meat into the fire directly, so it boils as quick as possible.
Yeah.
But this actually hooks on to here. I could hook on to here and
And you
hang
can
it.
hang it over a fire.
And that way I could even cook bread.
Yeah.
And I could do something distant from the flame. And,
Can
and
you
then,
make a ciabatta?
and then-
'Cause I love that personally.
Yeah.
I know we're out in the wilderness.
I would
but
have a ciabatta for
I
you
do
in a
love
heartbeat.
focaccia or ciabatta. Those are my favorites. So if we could have a choice, I prefer one.
And then look, you could rotate this
Okay.
because this is holding still. Rotate it and-
Right.
and have it cook evenly.
Wow.
Bread. So the reason I
Amazing,
show
man.
people this is because even bread can be cooked.
That's
So
amazing.
then, so this boils water, but it's also what I do. It's the size of a water bottle. So you could transport your boiled water. And now,
Wow.
but I always travel with the water filter.
Oh yeah, I've seen those little straw things.
Oh, yeah.
And a water bottle.
Oh yeah.
That way I could just scoot on and just drink it right out of the
Yep.
stream.
Wow.
So I don't
Very
have to
cool.
boil it, right?
Yeah,
I
those
don't
are
have
awesome.
to boil it. Then
You have to replace the filter in the water filter?
The water filter's used for a certain amount of
100,000 gallons. But I bring
100,000
the clean out. You backflow this filter. This is the clean out. So I go backwards with the water through it with pressure. And I could keep using it.
Is all this stuff on Amazon? Can you
To
get all
answer
this
your
stuff on
question.
Amazon? Or?
Oh yeah. I was gonna actually make a bag and probably start selling it.
You
That's a
should.
smart
Gary.
idea. You
Tell you
should.
something, if you do that,
Yeah.
we'll get the word out there about it.
Yeah, we'll,
All right.
we'll definitely.
And then look, you asked about a medical kit, sutures.
Oh shit. Yeah.
I'm ready to Rambo these.
Yeah. And then I'm sure with that and the plants, you could form whatever band-aid you need. Right?
Oh yeah, plantain is Neosporin of the plant world. You probably got it growing right here. Then always, just in case, it takes me a while to get to something. I carry 4 cans of sardines,
Nice.
rich in iodine, super lightweight, very healthy for you, and so I have some protein
Yep.
as I'm on the move while I'm trying to find protein
right.
because you don't just.
Smart.
So I don't have a false sense of security, right? So, anyways,
Very cool, man.
this is the Bugout bag that I fly with.
Very cool.
Then you go to, and this is all stuff that you're allowed to take on a plane.
Wow.
So
Very cool.
anywhere I go in the world, now here's what's funny about it. people are like, isn't that a bit fanatical? Americans have a false sense of security.
Yeah.
And so I'm like, to me, it's so funny. It's not a negative mindset. It's my favorite hobby. I'm a survivalist by trade. Remember, this is what I do. This is so cool to me. I'm like a little kid. This is the coolest little model kit you could ever have.
Very cool.
So, my brain is having fun
Yeah.
in the area of total self-reliance and stuff, right? Yeah. So then we get into what we're...
I got a slingshot.
A slingshot.
Dude,
and a bunch
I got
of
a
ammo.
slingshot in my car.
Oh,
I keep it in my car.
yeah.
They are so handy, man.
Oh, man, they're so good with squirrels.
They,
Sorry. Yeah, you saw I killed a squirrel
Yeah,
on the
I know,
last
man. I
one.
don't-
Oh yeah, I did see that. That was a
try
good
not.
shot.
I put it on
What do you make?
mute.
Squirrel jerky or something out of
I
it?
put it
What do
on
you do with it?
mute.
You eat it?
No, you boil it and eat it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey,
if you
so-
have to.
So in my bigger bug out bag, this is something I throw on my. You saw I got a bike on my car, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I have 4 of those big pannier bags
Yeah.
for the sides
Oh my God, you're
because
loaded
let's
up,
say we
bro.
get hit by an EMP and the battery shuts down.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, boom, I'm ready to pedal
Yeah.
and make my way to the coastline where I know where all the good food is and just and plus less activity from harsh inner city.
Yeah.
The inner city is going to go crazy.
Oh, it's
right?
gonna go crazy.
So
It's true.
I have a bike and I'm ready to be mobile. And so people, even at my age, people will be like, I made sure not to get an electric one.
Smart.
I don't want an electric one. I want to move. I want to be stronger. And if anything gets too bad in this world, I just said, they're just going to make me more fit.
Yeah.
I'm just going to become stronger, more
Yeah.
badass. I'm going to be pedaling a bike
Attack,
and moving around.
charge
yeah.
that hill,
I'm just
soldier.
going
I
to,
say
so
it to myself every day. I got to become stronger and more badass.
yeah. And so
Like a Marvel character.
So, yeah.
Well, I'm more like Captain America, though. That's what my.
So I
thing is.
want to be in a mindset
Yeah.
that views positive opportunity in a negative situation.
Yeah.
Because that's the best way to survive. The people are like, what are we going to do?
Well, that's
What do they say?
Good luck to
trouble.
them.
Yeah, you're in trouble.
Failure to plan is
Prior proper planning prevents piss poor performance.
that's a way of saying it too. How about that?
The 7 P's.
Say it one more
7
time for it.
Ps.
Say it one more time.
Prior proper planning prevents piss poor performance, people.
Yo,
That's
everybody-
8 P's.
Everybody,
8 Ps.
ladies and gentlemen, that's something to take with you.
Yeah,
we
it is.
appreciate
Wow.
you so
Thank
much.
You so much.
Yeah,
for
thanks
being
for
here.
showing
You all learned how to survive today,
That's
people.
right.
That's
That's
great.
right. Stay prepared. Stay aware. We appreciate you. God bless everybody out there.
We'll see you
Gary,
next week.
dude.
Yeah,
thank
Gary,
you
thanks so much. Thanks so much for
It was
coming in, Gary.
awesome.
Yeah, man.
Everybody, thank
Brotherly
you so
Love
much for coming in,
Pod.
everybody. We appreciate you. God bless. We'll
you.
see you
See
next
you
time
next
right here on the
week.
pod.
Yeah.
Hey, what's up, everybody? The
Lawrence brothers are here.
Thank you so much for enjoying this week's episode of the Brotherly Love Pod.
And if you want more of this show, check out our premium feed on Supercast.
That's right, where you'll see ad-free episodes, monthly AMAs, behind-the-scene content, and so much more.
That's brotherlylove.supercast.com to join.
Check out our link tree and subscribe on all platforms.
We'll see you all
Next week!